इससे समझा।
विन ग्रिप टेक्नोलॉजी कुछ इस तरह सीमेंट को ग्रिप करता है बिल्कुल टाइट।
SRMB TMT चैंपियंस की पसंद।
Hi guys, are you all excited for the Indian T20 League 2021? Well, I am, and I have come across the great fantasy sports app called My 11 Circle, where you can use your cricket knowledge and skills to win in crores. The really unique feature about it is that what you can actually literally play with champions like Dada, Rahane, VVS Laxman on this app. Also, don't please hold your breath, because not only My 11 Circle have all these legendary cricketers on their app, they recently got the kings of energy and awesomeness on board. Ranveer Singh. Yeah, you heard it, that right. Ranveer Singh is on My 11 Circle. Download the app now.
Hi everyone, it's Norman Kochnick. That was quick. It's Norman Kochnick here from Xtra Time, joined by some somewhat illustrious guests, I would say. And I'm holding my new cup. Have you seen it?
Yep.
Sumitra, have you seen my cup?
Yeah, where's the ball? Where's the jar?
It's here too. It's here too. Don't worry. It's here. It hasn't gone anywhere. It's here.
Oh.
It's not jar. It's my crystal ball. Aisha from.
Is it crystal or plastic?
Here today. Let me introduce you first. Aisha, how are you? From Barrett Army.
It's Isha, sir.
I've been corrected already. This is a bad start. Isha, correct?
Yes, sir.
Isha.
Yes.
So, and I'm Norman. Okay. Aisha from Hyderabad.
Hello, sir.
She is from the SRH of camp. She's defending David Warner. I'm not. Siddharth, nice to see you. And Sumitra wearing a baby-coloured top. Is it baby colour? What's the colour?
Yeah, all the babies are going to play today.
The reality is we have a panel of experts here. At least they think so. But yes, so they're very much learned people. And we're going to have I think a rather interesting match. Mumbai Indians yet again versus Chennai Super Kings at a neutral ground in Delhi. And Delhi has proven to be quite a good pitch. I think overall it's been quite commendable. But we've got some breaking news. Before we get into the match, I do want to talk about the Dave Warner sacking, relinquishing from his captaincy maybe, but he's been dumped from captain. Let's be honest. I think if he didn't, it doesn't actually say that he resigned from captaincy, does it? It doesn't say that. It says he was removed from the captaincy virtually. So that means it's a team decision, which is very interesting. And Kane Williamson certainly deserved the position. And I think a number of discretions we've seen from Warner early on that we all made comment about quite heavily, namely his inability to name the team, his condemnation of the selection of the team, his rather negative approach, his isolation in the actual dugout away from Kane Williamson and Besso, all spelt disaster. And I commend SRH for making that decision, and rather early, relatively early. Perhaps it's not too late. I think it's a commendable position, very much so. And Warner now has to perform. And Isha was very clear in my discussions with her. She was very diplomatic. She defended Dave Warner. But I think he needs to perform now. He needs to be free of mind and bat properly. So that's a great decision. We'll get your take at that in a minute. The other decision, of course, is this quite tough set of fines and imprisonment charges that have been laid by Australia, the Australian government, on anyone that enters Australia, an Australian citizen for that matter, from India in the next 2 weeks, from May 1st to May 15th, will incur a $66,000 Australian dollar fine, which is effectively 3.8 million rupees, and or a 5-year imprisonment. And it could well be both, depending on the severity. And what they're concerned about is that there's a gate opening in New Zealand where Indians, or let's say Australians, perhaps with Indian background, can go via Singapore, Malaysia, wherever, to New Zealand and step on Australia without any quarantine. It's concerning that they could use that route, or via Sri Lanka. they're some of the known risks. In fact, I know a girl personally who was asking me today, what if I go via Sri Lanka and I have my quarantine there? It's not about where the quarantine is. It's about we've banned them from coming. Very strict. But I'm not saying I necessarily agree with it, but it's commendable in terms of the strictness to actually keep Australia COVID free. There is the location in Darwin where they take people in. The places are basically, they're hellholes. They're not 5-star accommodation. They are shacks, which are boiling hot. There's no air conditioning because air conditioning spreads the COVID virus. It's almost penalising people. It's quite a severe treatment, but that's the way we're going. At this point, it's from May 1st to May 15th. Look, the reality is we know full well, and having worked with the federal government of Australia, it's a statement of what may happen, not what will happen. I'd be surprised if anyone's actually fined that much in prison. It's very, very unlikely. But it actually stopped Paul Rifle coming in, didn't it? Paul Rifle did not get into Australia. The rest did. But there was a certain dispensation for some of those players getting in so easily, so quickly, which annoyed me. There are some 9,000 expats from India trying to get into Australia at this present moment, with 600 on a so-called suspicious list. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe they've got records to say that they're taking flights to New Zealand or in other locations trying to get into Australia. It's a very serious matter, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. So that's breaking news as well.
Where is Paul Rifle now?
In India.
Okay.
He hasn't left.
Oh. The other Aussies could leave. Jai Richardson, Adam Sampard, they could
They
get back.
They got through. They got through.
Sorry, Kane Richardson, not Jai Richardson. Sorry, Kane.
Because it was May 1st, which is today it started, so they snuck in.
Oh, thank goodness.
But I tell you what, a lot of Australians are fuming because why can they just walk in when some people are waiting months to get back? It's not a fair appraisal. It's not fair. People are paying for airfares, but airfares have been cancelled, losing money hand over fist. I know a girl in particular who actually misunderstood the message. She thought when they're not allowed to come in for 5 years, what it was, you can get a 5-year sentence. So it's quite serious. Anyway, enough about that for the moment. I thought I'd break that to you if you hadn't heard that. So back to Mumbai Indians versus Chennai Super Kings. After what we saw yesterday, which was a shock, wasn't it? The way in which what the hell happened there? What's going on there? What happened to RCB? They fell apart. Symmetra, what happened?
Batting collapse. I mean, this is bound to happen for the big teams. You know, the Murphy's law always works very well in cricket, and it caught up with them second time in 6 or 7 matches. This happened the second time, and Simon Katich was quite worried that it is happening now, and RCB needs to tighten up. It was very clear that, you know, if it's like the snake's head. If you remember, once Nathan Lyon has said the snake's head, you cut the snake's head and everybody falls down. This was the snake's classic example, IPL example. I mean, this happens with many teams, and it's just that the snake raised its head as far as Punjab was concerned with Rahul and Gale firing, and you saw the difference it made. And of course, I think the most pleasant surprise was Harpreet Brar. He was a totally unknown commodity. Everybody took their chance against him. He just maintained his line and length, kept the ball in the right place, and he got his wickets. This is what happens. I mean, if you remember, many times we have chatted and we have said that the difference, the people who will make the difference in these tournaments are the youngsters, or the Indian youngsters. Of course, the foreigners will play their roles, but everywhere, all the top teams that you've seen are doing well. It's because of the unknown Indian youngsters who are coming through the ranks. Harpreet Brar is one of them. Rituraj is doing very well for Chennai Super Kings. Unfortunately, the youngsters in the KKR team are not doing well, and see what is happening to the team. There's a new boy, Lalit Yadav, who's doing very well for Delhi Capitals. So Avesh Khan. So these are the newcomers who are coming through the ranks. And if you notice that they are making a lot of difference to the fortunes of these teams. And Brar came like a whiff of fresh air. Ravi Vishnu is doing very well. But at the end of the day, it was still Gale and Rahul that took the match away.
So don't call us foreigners, please, Symmetry. You get me upset when you say that.
No. I mean, overseas players, see, Gale.
That's better.
Gale,
That's better.
I think we should not call. I think we should call you Indians. You stay more in India than.
Now you're getting confused. I mean, I eat like an Indian. I love my food. Oops, we've lost these. Okay. Maybe she's feeling a bit of. Okay. Now get more in the middle. Okay. The reality is that I was impressed with Punjab Kings yesterday. I really was. It was more that I was impressed with Punjab Kings actually than necessarily bagging RCB. I mean, Maxwell's delivery was a superb delivery. You can't blame Maxwell. That was really a corker. He got out to a great ball. So be it. Surprisingly, De Villiers looked off, didn't he, in his small innings, which we can accept. But I think Kohli's innings was probably the most disturbing because he had an opportunity to really get ahead and didn't. He needs to get a better strike rate going. He needs to be a bit more forceful in his innings, and it was disappointing. Who was the for Patidar? Not impressed with Patidar. Something's off. His partnership building type role. When you're batting, you bat in partnerships. He's not that sort of batsman. He doesn't seem to really understand how to bat with another batsman. That's my perception of it. I don't care if he can bat well. You see it very clearly. When he's batting with someone, both players are off. There's something wrong. There's an element of hesitancy, uncertainty, and that's not a good thing. You've got to be really forthright with your running, your calling, your support of your player. And he does. I don't know whether you noticed, but he lacks that. Someone needs to get in his ear to sort that out because when you're a batsman, I don't care how well you bat, you've got to support your partner, don't you? You've got to get in their ear, punch hands, get them to run, get them to back up. But that wasn't evidence in his innings. So in any of the innings I've seen him play, he lacks that, which is not a good sign. Not typically Indian, by the way. I mean, the punts and the Kohlis do that very, very well. So watch that. I think that's a disturbing factor. If I were Simon, I'm sure Simon Catter just noticed it. I'm sure he's in his ear because Simon's very much a positive runner as well. So, anyway, Isha. She's back on him. All right, so the reality was Punjab Kings, none of us selected them. No one said that. I'm sure Siddharth, you didn't say it. Nor did Symitra, I'm sure. But Mumbai Indians today, having played very well the previous match, in their match, CSK as well, this is going to be an intriguing match because really two sets of old heads, two sets of very experienced winning captains are going to have a battle. The likes of both Delhi and RCB are another stage, but these two today, extremely important for Mumbai Indians to win this match. Extremely important. They need to build back to alleviate the issue of the top four, and this is the game they need to get onto. I think really the 1st of May is almost the trigger point for the later part of this tournament. That I think that this is where the top teams need to really step up. And as I said yesterday, or the day before, that teams need to thump their opposition. Delhi did that. Delhi did it very well, didn't they, Symitra and Siddharth? Delhi really thumped their opposition. Isha, you okay?
Yes, sir. I had a Wi-Fi glitch. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. Did you put your plug in did you put your hairdryer into the IT plug or something? Whatever. I'm joking. I do that very often. I put my hairdryer into the wrong plug too. All right. I'm joking. Isha, what's your take on today? What's your thoughts on today's match between CSK and Mumbai? Can you hear me?
I think she's having problems again.
She's having Wi-Fi problems. Yep.
Yeah, Wi-Fi problems. All right, Siddharth, what's your thoughts on today's match?
Extremely important for Mumbai Indians because if they lose this, then it gives the likes of KKR, Punjab Kings, Rajasthan Royals all a chance to grab that 4th position. That is what a loss can do for the other teams. They'll be hoping that Chennai Super Kings beat Mumbai Indians. But if Chennai Super Kings slip, then their confidence will take a real beating, because in the last 5 years, if you have to look at excluding the 2-year ban that Chennai Super Kings had, they have not been able to win on a consistent basis against them. In the last 12 matches, they have lost 9. One included a 10-wicket loss also. In every which way that you look at it, Mumbai Indians have hurt Chennai Super Kings. Head-to-head advantage, results, titles. Chennai Super Kings had the allure of being the best franchisee in the IPL. It is not that anymore. They are down and out against Mumbai Indians at least. So Chennai Super Kings, they want to redeem their lost glory by beating Mumbai Indians today. But if Mumbai Indians lose, then it gives the likes of Punjab Kings, Kolkata Knight Riders, Rajasthan Royals, and to a certain extent, despite all the chaos of Sunrisers Hyderabad, a chance to even be there mathematically for the fourth place playoff.
That in itself is significant. That what you've just said is extremely significant. And I know Mumbai Indians, well, Mahela Jayawardene will be in their ear about that. He'll be saying, it's time, guys, it's time. Isha, can you hear us?
Nope.
Every time I talk to her, she disappears.
So, I'm back.
Good.
I'm really sorry. There's some network issue.
I thought you don't like me when I talked about the hairdryer. I'm sorry.
No.
Don't get upset with me, please.
Not at all, sir.
Okay. So your take on the Mumbai Indians versus CSK. What's your thoughts on today?
As we all know, and people consider it as the El Clasico of cricket, it's going to be a really tough match today, and I'm pretty sure that both of them are going to put their best foot front. And they have exceptional players, both the teams, and I guess, but Chennai will have an upper hand, seeing the winning momentum they've carried from the previous matches. So I'm guessing it's Chennai's day today.
So when you said you're pretty sure, you're not talking about the opening batter for Delhi Capitals, are you? Oh.
No, I'm talking about the entire team putting it up front.
Okay. So you're saying CSK, you feel CSK, it's going to be CSK's day?
Yes.
All right. I'm not so sure. I've got my doubts. There's been a discussion, like, for example, it's Suresh Raina's 200th IPL match. That's motivation in itself, certainly. Suresh Raina is a real goal setter. He does like his goals. He likes to reach targets. He bats in that manner. It could lift him today, perhaps. But is it going to be enough? Yes or no?
Well, Norman, if you have to look at the 5-game winning streak that Chennai Super Kings have had, it has been due to solid partnerships between Faf du Plessis and Rituraj Gaikwad. They have laid the foundation in the batting. Like as Soumitra sir said, cutting off the head of the snake, if Mumbai Indians manage to get Rituraj and Faf cheaply, the middle order has not been tested to the hilt for Chennai Super Kings as of now. Mumbai Indians, in the game against Rajasthan Royals, the likes of Krunal Pandya, the promotion up to the number 4 position, it worked. So their middle order is also shaky. If you look at it, Mumbai Indians and Chennai Super Kings' middle orders are slightly shaky. So it depends on the opening combo. If Mumbai Indians get Rituraj and Faf cheaply, Raina holds the key then for Chennai Super Kings. It's Suresh Raina. For Mumbai Indians, it is the Pandya brothers. Hardik has not performed. Pollard has not yet performed. He won one man of the match, but he's not performed. And always remember, Kyron Pollard has reserved his best always for Chennai Super Kings in the IPL, be it the final or in the league stage. So the middle order will be a real tester for both sides today. Rohit and Dhoni, two brilliant tacticians. This will be the test.
Yeah, CSK have had a rather charmed start to this tournament, haven't they? Their net run rate, their victories, will put them at the top. Mumbai Indians had a rather slow start, but you're right. Momentum's got to start to hit and hit hard with Mumbai. They've got to perform. They really lack certainty at this point. Mentally, they're not really there. I'm getting a feeling, but today they've got to pull their finger out and really try hard. And they've got to improve their run rate too, because it's pretty ordinary. So that's my thoughts on the day. Sumitra, who are you leaning towards?
See, whatever we have spoken so far, we have based it a lot on history, like what they have done before. But if you look at their current performances, there are two aspects of a T20 match which CSK has controlled better than many other teams. One is, one is the depth, and one is the power play. At the end of the day, no matter how much you score, it is very important to get wickets in the power play. So to draw that snake analogy, so if you get, and CSK have been the best, with Deepak Chahar outstanding by getting those wickets in the power play. And whether it is Mumbai or Chennai, the match will be won or lost depending on who makes the better start. As far as form is concerned, obviously Faf and Rituraj have been in fantastic touch. But the same cannot be said about Rohit and Quinton. Although Quinton finally scored in the last match, 60 odd runs. But he's the not same Quinton de Kock, because in the back of his mind there will be doubts, especially when you're facing a bowling opposition like CSK has. So there'll be plenty of mind games working behind this, because these big matches are also depends on how strong you are mentally and what you are capable of doing mentally. It does not matter whether if you're playing the 200th match or the first match. Like yesterday, for example, Harpreet Kaur, who's played after such a long time, it was all in the mind. That you don't look at the opposition to whom you're bowling, you bowl at your spot. The same will apply today also. Like Deepak Chahar will be a dangerous customer, no matter who is the batsman. It could be Rohit Sharma, it could be Quinton de Kock. We really don't know who's going to. Maybe Surya Kumar Yadav will be number 3. But as I see in an overall picture, I think 6 of the world's best all-rounders in this format of the game, we will be seeing them in action. 3 on either side. I mean, of course, Siddharth mentioned the Pandya brothers and Pollard. I would talk about Jadeja. I mean, he can be the match winner. He can turn the match. The kind of form he is in, and don't forget that they have 2 overseas players like Sam Curran and Moeen Ali, who have been in excellent form. So,
Did you say Tom Curran or Sam Curran?
Sam Curran, and Moeen Ali. See, Moeen, the flexibility he has given to the middle order. Now they don't have to count on Suresh Raina or Ambati Raidu. 2 players have changed the entire complexion of the team, which is Moeen Ali and Sam Curran. And that is why, Dhoni is like a floating bird. He can think of other things. He can think of other bowling combinations. But I think this is going to be a fascinating match. And the team making the better start will have a great advantage. And the wicket and the conditions are good. It's quite warm in Delhi. There's a wind blowing. But I think the dew factor will come in later in the evening. So I suggest the team winning the toss will probably going to bat first. And both the teams have the arsenal to fire at any position. So 20 overs, bat first, get a score on board, and both teams have the bowling attack to get the opposition out. So this will be a fantastic contest.
So you think that the both teams will, if they win the toss, will bat first? That's your thoughts?
That's my feeling, because you see, dew will come in at some stage in Delhi. But I think if dew comes in, it is always better to bat first and take advantage of a wicket which is still fresh. I mean, Delhi has just started having his own set of matches. And this is one good thing that we have seen in Delhi, that, the true nature of the pitch, the ball which is coming at a correct bounce, height and bounce and pace, this will work to the advantage of the opening batsman. And both Faf and Rituraj and on Rohit Sharma and Quinton de Kock, they love to play their strokes. It is always bat first and take advantage, and then try and get the opposition out, because both the teams are heavily loaded with good bowlers. So, and balance is very good. And I will not go back in history. I will say on current form, Chennai Super Kings look definitely the better side.
Okay. Jimmy Neesham is one player that's being mentioned there. They're talking about unleashing the niche, which is interesting. Whether he gets an all-round up berth. Tahir and Bravo, I don't think will play. In fact, Bravo really is on his last legs. I don't think something's definitely wrong. They keep opting away from Bravo. I think that's intriguing because you would argue that he, if in form, would be a player to have in the side, but clearly his days are somewhat numbered, and I think this may be his last season of IPL, if I'm not wrong. Okay. The toss will be on soon. What about people like Ishan Kishan and Kusanal? Are they out or in?
I think they are out. Because Mumbai Indians found success with Krunal Pandya promoted up to number 4. It worked for them against Rajasthan Royals. And for this match in particular, which will concretize the top 4 or the bottom 4, I think they will not make too many changes. It would be not wise.
Yeah.
Nathan Coulter-Nile will be a good asset as far as to beef the bowling because yes, Trent Bolt has got wickets, but Nathan Coulter-Nile will give them an additional edge. And I think any good side will depend on its first top 5 batsmen, which Mumbai have. So I think if 1 to 5 can get the scores, they will not miss Ishan Kishan.
Isha? Don't be afraid to say, I disagree with Siddharth. I disagree with Sumitra. You won't disagree with me, I know that. But you may disagree with Siddharth and Sumitra anytime.
No. I think they have pretty valid points and I agree with them.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Looks like we could have a storm brewing. It's very windy out here in Delhi. Very windy.
Yeah, windy, very warm.
Are you talking about it inside your home or outside? What are you talking about?
Outside, I live on the 19th floor. I can see the wind blowing.
I'm on the 9th floor. It's really big, the wind. It's really blowing hard.
Don't you like the ground floor or something? What is this 9 and 19th floor business?
We are top flyers, always in the highest range.
Wow.
High society, indeed.
What they do is they get their little paper planes and they fling it out the window and they get all excited when it goes down from the top floor.
I think the storm has hit Hyderabad.
I've upset Sumitra, he's gone. And now Siddharth's going too. They're both going.
Oh, no, it's a dust storm. We are having a dust storm here.
I'm back.
I think play will be held up.
There's a lot of wind. Yeah, could be.
Yeah, it's a dust storm. I think the play will be held up for some time.
Is it Dave Warner perhaps blowing a bit angrily somewhere?
Of course.
Dust
No, sir. I think it's a collective decision. So David Warner might be complying with the decision.
Are you sure?
Yes.
The way that was, and Siddharth and I talked before, the way that media release was written, it was not, we are so happy at the moment, warm and fuzzy. It was not like that. It was, he's out, Williamson's in, let's see if he stays in the team at all. That's the way that was written. Correct, Siddharth?
Yep. Everything would have been smooth.
Something very interesting happened. Norman, the last press conference that Sunrisers did, Trevor Bayliss attended it, and Trevor normally does not attend press conferences. And he's very diplomatic, having worked with the England cricket team. He's an extremely diplomatic person. And people, obviously, the first question that was asked Trevor Bayliss was on David Warner. And he gave a very nice answer. He said, probably David Warner is not happy with the way he's playing. And that said it all. I mean, he did not blame anybody. He just said David Warner realizes that he is not playing the way he wants to play. And of course, there were other issues which were discussed. But Trevor Bayliss coming and attending a press conference was something very striking. And the same thing has happened with Brendan McCullum after Kolkata lost the last match.
Yes.
And he has said the same thing. So don't be surprised. A similar story unfolds with KKR.
I've got no doubt. In fact, I might give more of an impetus for KKR to do the same thing. They see that Sunrise is hydrated, they might say, right, here's our chance. Let's do it and not be so exposed. Let me read.
McCollum was living.
Now I'm going to read the sermon here. Sermon according to press release. Would you like to hear it?
Mumbai won the toss, by the way, and they've
decided to bowl.
Chosen to bowl.
Okay, very defensive move. That's all right.
What are they doing though? The one that they're chosen to
they'll bowl. They'll bowl.
They've decided to bowl.
But didn't we
Nisha
say we said they were going to bat though?
That's all right.
Maybe I think he's looking at the weather factor and possibly Duckworth Lewis adjusted. Yeah. Maybe.
If it,
could be.
Yep. So get the other opposite because of the current situation which you described. Okay. So Mumbai Indians choose to bowl. Interesting. Is it going to work in Mumbai's favour, do you think?
Yeah, I think if the weather is stormy and if there is a bit of a rain, there could be a revised target. That could be a reason. But again, this could also be like they will also look at they would rather chase, because don't forget they have a very quality bowling attack. So if they can get Faf and Rituraj out or the first top three out, and think the advantage will be for them.
I love the abbreviation. They say not Mumbai Indians, they say Mum Indians. Are we hearing something there? I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's right. They have a mom in their management. Very rich mom.
Indeed. Neeta mom.
Hey, no names, but the very rich mom.
with a big rolling stick, the big rolling stick.
With a big geophone.
Geophone, geodongle, whatever.
Oh my god. Actually, I have a couple of pet hates. I don't like the non-Indians to be called foreigners, and I don't like when the team says Mumbai Indians choose to field. Nobody chooses to field. You bat and bowl. I don't go, I can't wait to field. No, I want to bat or bowl. Okay. So when they say you don't choose to field and you don't also choose to chase. Chase means you're behind. So no.
Yeah.
It's you bat or bowl. Period. That's it. I don't want to catch you ever saying anything else. You don't field, you don't choose to field, you don't choose to chase. Exactly. Simple. All right.
Very interesting Mumbai changes. 2 changes they have made. So Dhawal Kulkarni has come in place of Nethar Kuntunline and Jayant Yadav, Jimmy Nisham for Jayant Yadav. That means they are giving a lot of emphasis on quick bowling. Fast.
Yes. And Nathan Coulson has been off, to be honest with you. And you looked at his source in the previous match. He had the opportunity. Dawal Kulkarni, I think that's a good selection. And Jimmy Nisham, he has got a spark to him. When he plays for New Zealand, there's a spark about him. Some pretty bold decisions there.
So one additional all-rounder in the team.
Exactly.
From number 4 to number 8 is all-rounders.
All all-rounders, correct.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with
Krunal, Hardik, Pollard, Nisham.
There's nothing wrong with that. That gives you alternatives when you're bowling. I think that's good. I think that's a good thing. So what about, okay, it looks like Dhoni hasn't made any changes.
No changes.
Now, my read on that is Dhoni's supremely confident today. Very confident. Perhaps Rohit's got some uncertainty and needed to make changes. I think Mumbai Indians are feeling the pressure.
Yeah, you can make out. When you make 2 changes in the team, and 2 changes in the team means obviously there is a discomfort level somewhere down the line. And when you back a team obviously that's Dhoni's trademark. Consistency, being purposeful to back a team See, initially when Rituraj wasn't playing, we were asking questions about him. But see how they have backed him and see the way he's batting now. This typically Dhoni. It's typically.
So Jimmy Neesham was given his cap by Shane Bond, and I'm sure Shane Bond's influence on this team is pronounced too. I really like Shane Bond. He's a particularly good bowling coach. He has got a knack about him to actually get the best out of his players. So Jimmy Neesham is going to have a good game, I think. Very important aspect. Isha, let's hear your point of view. Disagree with somebody. Disagree with me. Say, Norman, you're wrong. I'm happy.
Oh, I think her wife.
No, she's like my ex-wife. She has selective hearing.
Sir, can you repeat your question, please?
I said...
But your video is stuck.
I'm not stuck. I'm moving madly. I'm moving. I'm saying to you, don't be afraid to say don't be afraid to say Norman's wrong. Okay, I'm happy when you do that.
We're all saying he's
you're
wrong.
absolutely right.
Sumitra, did I ask your point? Did I ask your point of view, Sumitra? I was talking to Isha then.
Sorry.
You do you know, I'm the one that's innocent here. I'm the innocent person. They're the bad people.
Yes.
Oh, okay. It's kind of hard to believe, sir.
What? She said, oh my God, I'm offended. I'm offended. All right. I'm going to read out the teams now that I've been offended by Isha already. CSK, Gaikwad's in there with Duplessis. You've got Moeen Ali, Raina, Rayudu, Dhoni, Jadeja. Oh my God, that's looking pretty strong. Sam Curran. Thakur hasn't been dropped. There was some discussion about Thakur being dropped. He's still in. Nagiri and Chahar. Very stable Chennai side. You know what? I'm worried. I've got a feeling this is not all that good for Mumbai. Okay, Sharma, De Kock, Sky. Pollard batting at 4. We'll see. Hardik Pandya, Kunal Pandya, Neesham, Chahar, Kulkarni, Bumrah, and Bolt. It's interesting. We've got the two Chahars playing against each other. That's going to be.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a battle going on there. Surely.
Cousin brothers.
What do you think of Pollard batting at 4?
He may not.
He may not.
Well, then who's going to bat at 4?
Krunal Pandya.
You think so? But they put their teams in a batting order normally. So we'll see if that's the case. All right. I keep thinking of Chris Len. It frustrates me so much because I really like him, and I do, and it's a pity he's not there. All right, what do you think of these sides, Sumitra? What do you think of these sides now? What do you make of it?
We don't get connected.
Oh, Chennai looks very good, solid. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, a team that is once looking for their 6th win on the throne, if I'm not wrong. They are obviously looking solid. I mean, they will back this team, and why not? Everybody from 1 to 11, they're performing. And again, you will expect Mumbai Indians, because I think Mumbai Indians will start as the lesser fancied teams. Chennai Super Kings will definitely be the more fancied teams on form, on paper, in body language, confidence, everything.
So really, it's up to Gaikwad and Duplessis to actually show their wares. They've been extremely solid as an opening pair, haven't they? Have you been impressed, Esha, with the opening batsman for CSK?
Rituraj Gaikwad. Oh, sorry, you asked. Esha, please go ahead.
Yeah, they've been really good. Their opening pair has worked out in almost the previous matches, and even against Sunrisers, they were really good. I mean, they could take the partnership up to 130 or so, and I think Mumbai is going to fear that one opening pair.
So really, are we expecting Bolt and Bumrah to perhaps really go for their early overs, really go for these two, try to take early wickets? I would argue they're going to have to. They're going to have to really fire with those two. Or will they throw in a... Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No. You go ahead, please.
No, I was just saying yes, sir. They're really they're a terror to Mumbai today. So, of course, they'll be trying to take them down in the power play itself. So, if at all they lose one wicket from either Ruturaj or Faf du Plessis, then Chennai will try to up their game as soon as possible.
I think the opening overs of this game will be crucial because if du Plessis and Gaikwad get on top and get to their fairly solid start as per normal, Mumbai are going to be on the back foot, and I don't know whether they may exhaust the use of Bolt and Bumrah early, which will mean they'll be less effective towards the end, and that's going to be intriguing because I think this is really. I'm actually wondering why they didn't bat first. I've got my doubts about their decision to bowl. There must be a condition that we're not seeing. Maybe it's the sandstorm. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I just find it a bit hard to work out. Didn't we talk earlier? At least Siddharth, you said earlier that they should bat first. Didn't you say that, or did Sumitra say that?
Shamitra said that.
I said that.
You said it. Okay. So you must be. So if you said that and they're not doing that, doesn't that put Mumbai on the back foot?
No, I think they would back their selection when you pick somebody like Dhawal Kulkarni. He's a bowler. So you just said that, what if they exhaust Jasprit Bumrah or Trent Bolt? Dhawal Kulkarni will give them the backing.
Okay.
And he's a very good mover of the ball. He moves it very well off the seam. And given the pitch conditions at Kotla, Dhawal Kulkarni will be ineffective, and he'll be more effective maybe than Nathan Coulter-Nine. That's why you have him. Plus, Jimmy Nisham is also there. So, they are loaded with fast bowling options today. And they have one very good spinner, Rahul Chahar, which is good enough. So, you see the range of bowling options that they have chosen. That means they have chosen, although Hardik Pandya is not bowling, that means they have 4 quality fast bowlers. They have 4 quality fast bowlers, and definitely Rahul Chahar will bowl his 4 overs. So, they have gone in with a very definite plan and a very bowling heavy plan. So, if they have gone in with a bowling heavy plan, they would obviously win the toss and bowl first. That is what they have done. I think that is what is their logic, the logic behind bowling first.
Yeah. I think, Norman, in the Mumbai Indians team, if you look at it, there is an equal mix of left-handers and right-handers. I mean, left in the sense Quinton de Kock, then you have Krunal, then you have Nisham, then you have Rohit, Suryakumar, Hardik, and Kyron Pollard. So 4:3 in the middle, in the batting order means they are either trying to nullify Jadeja and they're trying to nullify Moeen at the same time, because these will be your 2 spinners. You've got Sam Curran, you've got Deepak Chahar. So Deepak Chahar, apart from those 8 wickets that he took in Mumbai, he's managed to keep the runs down, but he's not gotten that much of penetration elsewhere. In Delhi also. So the batting order is built to tackle the 2 spinners, one that gets it in, the other that spins it in for the left-hander and the right-hander. Then you've got the buffer of Nisham, primarily because Rohit identifies the fact that maybe my middle order is a bit too shaky. The middle order for Mumbai Indians has not fired yet. In the previous matches that they lost, Hardik went cheaply, Kyron Pollard went cheaply, Krunal, when he batted lower down the order, failed, so did Ishan Kishan. So they needed the buffer of Nisham to ensure that their middle order is strong enough. So there is some fears in the Mumbai Indians camp that the middle order collapses might cost us a chance to go into the playoffs.
Now, I did think earlier on that Mumbai Indians will win this because of the need to win this match. But I sense a certain, I wouldn't say panic, but a certain level of indecision and indecisiveness. There's something not right about Mumbai. I know they've gone in with a plan, but there's an element of risk about their plan. There's an element of uncertainty about their plan. I'm not convinced Mumbai. I had initial thoughts of Mumbai Indians. I'm starting to waver. Not quite 70-30, but I'm wavering a little bit.
They have used all their overseas players. If you have to look at it, they've used all their 8 overseas players in all the 7 games that they have played so far. That didn't happen in 2020 nor in 2019. So this is something different.
I think Sam Curran's going to have a big. I think Sam Curran's going to have a big day today. I think he could. He's going to take this game by the scruff of his neck if he gets an opportunity. That is very, very impressive young guy. Really, he's not quite like Punt necessarily, but that 95 he scored in that I think that was the end of the series was so impressive. I was really impressed with that batting performance that day. All right. Shardul Thakur has to get his act together too, doesn't he? Somewhat. He's been leaking too many runs. Nagidi, well, he'll be better for the run. But the Mumbai Indian bowling attack probably has got an edge at the moment. A little bit of an edge. Would you say, Siddharth?
I would say it's pretty even at this point in time. Pretty even because it's Mumbai Indians versus Chennai Super Kings. Mumbai Indians are the only team who have cracked the code of how to beat Chennai Super Kings very, very effectively. 9 out of 12. I mean, they won 9 out of 12 games. It's not a fluke. They know something by which they can upset Chennai Super Kings' plans. For Chennai Super Kings, it's necessarily not been the other way around. They have struggled to find the Mumbai Indians code. You look at the changes that they made. Dhoni has got an air of assurity that yes, I back my players, they will deliver. Here, maybe Rohit Sharma is like saying, let's do this change to upset CSK's plans. So they are tacticians par excellence. So, like for Punjab Kings yesterday, no one ever imagined that Harpreet Brar would change the game in 7 balls. No one ever predicted in their wildest dreams. And Rahul doing well in Narendra Modi Stadium after such a prolonged slump. So anything can happen. For the Mumbai Indians Chennai Super Kings game, I would say wait till over number 39.5. Because until then, we'll not know who's the clear winner. It's too close to call.
You're gonna get splinters on that fence too, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I made the mistake of underestimating Punjab Kings very, very badly yesterday. I've gotten burnt. I don't want to do that again.
That hurt. That really hurt.
That really hurt. That really hurt.
What happened? I'm sorry. I'm still sitting here thinking, what happened? I still don't get it. Really.
That's why RCB get trolled. That is why they get trolled. They defy expectations in the most positive or the most negative way. That's why they get trolled.
Okay. All right. I think it's time we start thinking about selections here quite seriously. Who's going to win this? Isha?
Chennai Super Kings.
Why?
Well, they have carried the winning momentum. I'd say that is the plus point for them, and they trust their players way too much. So every player has got their consistency. So that is why I guess Chennai Super Kings have an upper hand in that.
All right. Siddharth?
Okay, I'm now dreading this particular point. I will say Mumbai Indians. They have that edge over Chennai Super Kings mentally. So,
but you're talking about this 9 out of 12 stuff, aren't you? You rely on that pretty heavily, aren't you?
I do.
Okay. Sumitra, get your jar out. You got your jar? Where's your jar? You told me you had a...
Okay. CSK.
And why? You just can't say. You just can't say
the whole program. I've been saying why.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you don't want to repeat yourself?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Okay. CSK. That's because the team has been doing well. As Isha said, they have the winning momentum. Their opening batsmen are good. The top 5 players are looking very good, and they have a very consistent bowling. As I said, they control the 2 aspects of the match very well. One is the power play and the depth. They have the best strike rate in the depth, which is again because of Sam Curran, and they have taken wickets in the power play, which is Deepak Chahar. So if they can control the portions of the match, they will probably win today.
They're rather small portions, but
Yes, 5 overs, 6 overs. So
I think. Oh, I'm going to look one. It still says Mumbai Indians. It hasn't changed. I'll give it a shake. Hang on. No, it still says Mumbai Indians.
Oh.
I had some doubt from you were convincing me about CSK. I was getting the CSK vibes, but no. I'm going to stick with Mumbai. Mumbai Indians have to win today. Their attitude, they're going out to win this match. Okay, and that's the difference.
It also opens up the tournament to a bit, as Siddharth explained.
Yeah.
It also gives the lower half the chance to come up. It's something is very much shaping like last year's tournament. I mean, 2020. We knew who the top three going to be, and the fight was for the 4th place. And if today Mumbai Indians can win, it will also help teams like Rajasthan Royals, Kolkata Knight Riders, and Punjab Kings, who I personally think Kolkata Knight Riders and Sunrisers don't deserve to be there at all, given their performances. But yes, but definitely Punjab Kings can think of. I think the story unfolded the same way last season also. The striking similarity for some reason.
Should we pull out the old tapes and just play them again for you?
No, you can. Extra time. Play it on Extra Time. Download the app now.
Yes. Isha, do you put money in my 11 circle? Did you?
No.
We can never fantasize on cricket.
Just checking. Just checking.
No.
You can not fantasize. You can romanticize though. Romanticize.
Romanticize. Yes.
All right. So we've got 2 Mumbai Indians, 2 CSKs. We're divided. Are we all coming back after the show?
Not me.
No, not me.
I'll be there, of course. And if you're wrong, I'll let everybody know you're wrong. Okay?
Sure.
All right.
But what if we are wrong, Norman? Because you and me are Mumbai, Isha and Soumitra are CSK.
No,
what if we are wrong?
We're not wrong. We're not wrong.
You seem too confident, sir.
Do you think so? I don't even go for Mumbai Indians. I go for KKR generally, but I've got a soft spot for Delhi Capitals this year. So my confidence is not based on being blinded. It's with fact today.
That's why you're looking at the crystal ball and guessing. Oh, you have no facts. We are not looking at any crystal.
That's
first of all,
that's just nasty.
First of all, that's not crystal. That plastic ball. So you're
just jealous because mine's so much better than yours. Okay, I know you're jealous.
Today is not the day for Australians. One Australian has been asked to go, so it is a day for New Zealanders. So Jimmy Nisham, watch out for Jimmy Nisham.
This is nasty. Actually, you're supposed to support the host. You're supposed to support the host. I expect a Bar and Army person to support
54 days supporting you.
Oh my gosh. Have they corrupted you already? I think they've corrupted you already. All right, we've got 4 minutes to go before the game. We've got 2 CSK, 2 Mumbai Indians. I'm going to promote my cup. Can you see my? Isha, can you see my cup?
Very nice.
Yes,
is that you?
Of course it's me.
Oh,
Norman's twin brother.
I'm not putting you in my cup. Are you kidding me? Why would I put you in my cup for?
Very nice.
We can say it's Norman's twin brother.
I put you're on the bottom, Sumitra, here.
Yeah,
So
right.
when they look at it, they spill the drink over them.
I can see a black spot there.
That's it. That's a full photo.
Okay.
All right, guys. Enjoy the match.
You too. You know too.
Okay,
You
guys.
too. You
Ta-ta.
too, Norman.
You
Thanks,
too,
Steve.
sir.
Thank you
You
very
too,
much.
sir.
Norman.
All right.
Thank you for
Bye.
having me.
Hi guys, are you
My
all
11
excited for the Indian T20 League 2021? Well, I am, and I have come across the great fantasy sports app called My 11 Circle, where you can use your cricket knowledge and skills to win in crores. The really unique feature about it is that what you can actually literally play with champions like Dada, Rahane, VVS Laxman on this app. Also, don't please hold your breath, because not only My 11 Circle have all these legendary cricketers on their app, they recently got the kings of energy and awesomeness on board. Ranveer Singh. Yeah, you heard it, that right. Ranveer Singh is on My 11 Circle. Download the app now.